Now consider this case second, that is deletion of a node from the end of a doubly linked list, that is the last node. So imagine this is the doubly linked list, right? The head points to the first node and we have to delete this node, right? We have to delete this node because this is the last node of the doubly linked list. So we would have to do this. We would have to make this forward pointer of this node, that is node previous to the last node. We would have to make it to point to null, and then we will have to free up the space of the last node, right? So how will we do that? We will declare two pointers. One is traverse, used for traversing from this position to this position, and we will assign, initially we will assign head to this traverse pointer, so that with this line of code we would make one pointer traverse point to node number 1, and then we will make use of one while statement. We'll say while traverse fptr not equal to null. That means until this condition is true, we will keep advancing this traverse pointer to point to the next node available in the list till the forward pointer of the node pointed to by this traverse contains null. So in this, since in the first place this traverse points to node number 1, and then we will check this condition, is traverse fptr not equal to null, right? Is traverse fptr, so traverse points to this node number 1, is its fptr pointing to null? No, it's not null. So we will execute this statement, traverse is equal to traverse fptr. Now by virtue of this statement, this traverse pointer will point to, it will cease to point to node number 1, it will point node number 2, right? And then in the next iteration this condition will again be checked. Now traverse points to this, right? So is traverse fptr, now traverse points to this, so is this its fptr pointing to null? So no, it is not. Then this condition, this statement will be again executed, and then by virtue of this statement we make this traverse pointer point to this node, right? Node number 3rd. So again in the next iteration this condition will be checked, is the fptr of this node pointing to null? No, it's not. So again this statement will be executed, so with the help of this statement this traverse pointer now points to the last node, right? And in the next iteration this condition will again be checked, traverse fptr not equal to null, but at this point in time this will point to null. Traverse now points to this last node and its fptr is null, so this statement will not be executed and control will come out of this while loop, right? And now we have to make use of another pointer. This I call it preserve previous. Why? Because we have to preserve the address of the previous node, previous to the node which we have to delete. That means previous to this last node, right? So how can we get the address of this node? We will say preserve previous equal to traverse bptr. Currently traverse points to this node and its bptr points to this node, so its bptr contains the address of the previous node. So by the use of this statement, this we make preserve previous pointer point to this node. Then in the forward pointer of this node was pointing to this node which is to be deleted, but because of this statement we sever this tie and we make this forward pointer point to null, and then with this statement free traverse we what we do is we free up the space. We free up the space allocated for this node. Once the space is freed, this node ceases to exist. Now this node is no more, and now the resultant doubly linked list consists of 3 nodes: first node, second node, third node, and the last node pointing to null. So we have achieved what we were tasked with, right? Thank you very much.